screen?
Yes.
All right. So here we are. We're in lesson number 12. This is the last part of lesson number 12. You guys, we only have a few more lessons and then we'll be done with this aspect of learning some of the rules and whatnot. So yeah, this is awesome, right?
Yes.
So what we have here. So here we are. Or let me see. We're in lesson number 12. This is the last part of lesson number 12. You guys, we only have a go. Cut that off. Go back to our share. There you go. All right. So up at the top, we have this Hebrew word called yesh. All right. And it'll come either with 2 dots or 3 dots, yesh or yesh, one of the two. Okay. And the next word that you have there is called ain. So it's yesh and it's ain. Okay. Yesh basically means there is. Okay. So we know in Hebrew, there is no word for is, but here is a word that's used for there is, and it's called yesh or yesh. So just off the top, if I was to write this letter out, this letter right here, this yod, what letter in English would it represent? Someone tell me.
Y.
A Y. The 3 dots underneath it, what sound or what letters would I write?
E.
EH. Okay. Yeah.
H.
Yeah. And then the last one.
The SH.
Okay. So there you go. That's how it would be transliterated. Yesh. Okay. Yesh. So anytime you want to know how something sounds, you just write it out. Here, how would I write that out? Remember, there's no letter A in Hebrew.
E. E.
Okay, so these 2 dots right here is A. Remember, the aleph is silent. What's the next letter? Yod. That goes together.
Oh, okay.
See that? And the final letter on that is what? N. Exactly. So how do you say that?
Ain.
Ain. Perfect. Okay. Next one. This one right here. The aleph is silent, so we're just going to go with the ah. Okay. Then the next letter, yod.
Y.
And the dot right here is the I. And then final, yin. You see? So if you know your letters and you know their sounds and you know your vowel points, then that's how you'll be able to say these words. So anytime you have a problem with pronouncing something or you want to make sure you're correct, go ahead and do that. Okay. Somebody read this first sentence for me right here. What do you got? What letters is?
That's the wa.
Wa. Okay. So we got a W. Okay.
Wakol.
Wakal. Exactly. Wakal. Okay. Wakal. Uh-huh.
Yish.
Yesh. Uh-huh.
Yesh.
Yesh. Uh-huh.
Lo.
Yep. Yep.
Nathan.
Thank you. Go ahead with your bad self. Nathan what?
Be.
Uh-huh. Ba. Uh-huh.
Ya. Baro.
Okay, so that remember these look alike. So you got a resh and you got a dalit. So the dalit is a little bit stronger. The resh is more rounder. Okay. So off of me knowing the vocabulary words, right? I know that this is bayado. This is his hand. Okay. So what I do is always look and say, okay, is this first letter is this just, a preposition or is it part of the word? Right. So that's what you want to do. But you read really, really nicely. Wakal yesh lo nathan bayado. Okay. And when you get your when I bring this or send this over to you, you'll be able to see it. It has here, let me get rid of this right here. It has here, right here. And that's what I would do when you get it. All right here. Next one, yesh. Right here. There is. Two, the lamed. Remember, low, we can have low, like an aleph and a lamed like that, low, and that means no. But here's another low, this lamed, and then it has a wa like that. So they both say low, but they mean something different depending, you have to get used to it. So the low that's being here mentioned is not no, it means to, that's a preposition right here. And the him is this right here. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, all he had, and then he put into his what? Into his hand. Nathan is to put. And the he is already what? It's already there because it's perfect, because it's 3 letters. So you just remember the rules. Like if you got 3-letter root, what they have here, Nathan, that means he. Okay, third person masculine singular, he. Okay, and then we know what the actual root means, put, and then ba is in for the tent, into, like you're going into a tent, and then yad is hand, and then o on the end is his hand. Bayado. I'll put a word up here in English. What did I just say?
Shimo.
Shemo. And what does Shemo mean?
Name.
Name what? What is this O on the end? They're represented by a yod and a dot. What does it mean?
And his name.
Is. So if Bayado, Yado is his hand, then what is Shemo?
His name.
His name. Okay. And so in English, I mean in Hebrew, you would see it like this. A shin, right? And then you would see that's the sh. You got the 2 dots, a, right? Or shemo, and then a mem. And then you have the O on the end. Okay. That O right there is his. The shame is name. So really, when you're reading Hebrew, you're reading it this direction, but you're transliterating this direction. Okay. Meaning like you're going to say, like Bayado, you would know that it's his hand is when you look at the last ending of that in particular word, the last letter that's attached to it. When you see this wa, you'd be like, okay, that's O. Well, that means his. That's never going to change. Never. It's always going to be that forever. So anytime I see a yod on the end of some, a wa on the end with this, I know that's his. And I know the sound is O. I know that. O, his. Okay. All right. But does that wa on the end mean the same as a wa that's on the inside? No, it means something totally different. When it's on the end, when it's what do you call it, suffixed, when it's put on the end of a word, I know it means his. Okay. When I know that there's when I say it's hers on the end, it would be this. See? So you got to know your endings. Okay, good reading. Somebody read this one right here. Well, let's do this. Yeah, somebody read that. First word.
Is it ma?
Ma, exactly. And ma means what? Okay. Next word.
Yes.
Yes. Yes is there is right here. Okay. Next word.
That's a little
You got it?
lock.
Lock. Perfect. So it has these 2 dots. Those 2 dots is feminine. So we don't have to say laka, we just be lock. Okay. So lock. So the lamed right here is going to two because it's a preposition. And then the U right here is this. Now, question for you. So far, if this is feminine, well, I just gave it away. Then the U here is talking to a female. Okay. And I know it's a female because it's to lock versus being laka. Okay. So let me help you understand. Good. And what's the last word?
It's like babat.
Yeah.
Babat. Hold on. I got the
Ba,
first one, ba, and
ba,
then
baba.
babat.
Baba what? Last part. Y-I-T-H. So how do you say that? Baba what?
Okay, yes.
Baba Yith. Good. Okay. So why is it Baba? Why is it Baba and not Bob Bayith? Why is it Baba?
It's feminine.
Yes, because the first letter has the B, right? With this one right here, the bet, and it's Ba. Okay. But you see the next letter has another dot inside of it. And that, again, when we get into our future lessons, we're going to talk more about these little dots. Okay. But that means that you got to make two B's. So I got one B, the first one. I got an ah, then I got another two B's, and then I got the ah again, the long ah. Okay. Baba. And then the last part of that is what? Baba, ba, ba, yith.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that the in the house is this right here. In, and then because of this in particular vowel that they have underneath it will let me know that it's the house. Bayith right here, meaning house. You can kind of guess when you look at these things, but if you know what a bed is, you know to go inside, and this is a preposition for in, then you know the bayith is a house. So the ba, okay, and because some grammatical rules, you would have to say baba, but that's how you would say it. So one of the things that I try to teach is when you see any of these letters to connect it like this together, and you see a dot in the next one, like this, a little dagesh, you would go baba. Okay. Baba, then yith. What you want to always remember in speaking any language is you have to allow the syllables. So I'll say baba yith. How many syllables are in baba yith? Baba yith. 3. How many syllables that are in ma?
1.
1. Yesh.
1.
Lock. Lock.
Mhm.
Lock.
1.
1. Baba yith.
3.
Great.
Wa call.
2.
2.
Yesh.
And
Yesh.
1.
1. Lo.
1.
Okay. Nathan.
2.
Ba yado.
3.
Thank you. So why did we do that exercise? Well, simply because if you understand that when it's written in the syllable form and you say the syllables right, you'll be able to read faster and you'll understand I have to break this down into syllables. You'll stop trying to put everything together if it's not together. Okay. When you look at this word lo right here, you see a consonant and you see what they would call a wa that's being used as not a letter, is being used as a what? A vowel. Okay. So the same wa right here that's being used as a vowel, is this one right here being used as a vowel? The first one in this one we'll call, is that being used as a vowel?
No.
No. If it's a vowel, it's going to have a dot over the top or it's going to have a dot on the side. I could tell you the names of that, but I don't want to confuse you. I just want you to know that when they have dots on top and the dots on the side, those are the vowels. Okay. When it's no dot and it's just that, there's no dot here and there's no dot there, then it's used as the letter, the consonant, meaning wa. Okay. So we'll call yesh, lo, nathan, the bayado, ma yesh, lak, babayith. Okay. And we have to speak in a way when we talk or read in a way that we give our person who's listening, even ourselves, the opportunity to hear what you're saying. So often, people who try to read real fast, what is that? You understand? We're not doing that. We're not trying to be those type of people. We're trying to understand what's being written so we can transliterate it. That's the reason why we're doing our Hebrew. That's why you're learning it. So you can translate what has been written and you can transliterate it and write it out and know what is being said and interpret it. Okay. And so here they're going to tell us about another word. There's an opposite of the word yesh. Okay. And it is what? What's this? Ain.
Aim.
Ain. Ain. Okay. There is not. That's what it means. There is not. Okay. That's what it means. So yesh is there is, and ain is there is not, or there are not. Okay. So it can mean either one of those two. Sentence. I'm going to ask you what word something is. I'm going to say the word, and I want you to tell me. Well, it already tells you what it is. Habor. In the sentence, what do you think this represents? Ha-bor.
The pit.
The pit. Thank you. Okay. Rake.
Empty.
Empty. Ain.
There is not.
There is not. I'm going to just tell you the first letter. What does this letter here represent in this sentence over here?
In.
Thank you. That's the bet right there, because bet means in, with, inside. Okay. What does the here represent? I told you, man, his, right? But it also means in the third person if it's not an actual human being or masculine in its physicalness, it's it. It can also mean it. Okay. Third person, still third person, masculine, singular. Okay. And then of course, ma yim is what?
Water.
Water. Somebody read this, please.
Ain.
Perfect. Ain what? You can look over here and it'll tell you what it is.
Ish.
Thank you. Perfect.
Ain. Ish.
Uh-huh. I got the ayin is going to be silent. So I'm going with an I for the little dot. And then I got how many M's? Two. And then I got a ah. And then I got a nu.
Amanu.
Yeah. Emma. Emma nu.
Emma.
Okay. And this is where you get your word. If you're a Christian, let me help you. IMMANUEL. Emmanuel. They got that from the book of Yashayahu. It said he's with us. If you read that carefully, Yah says that this particular baby, when his baby's born, and that baby's eating milk and curds only and butter, because that's all they had to eat off of a cow, then you would know that I'm with you. So Ain, Ish, Emanu, Emma. Okay. So again, Emma whenever you see a consonant next to something with a dot in it, you're not gonna go M and then ma. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna put it together. You go call it Emma, and then you'll say the new, and the new means us. That's all it is. Okay, so new. So I'll put a word up here, a lamed, a noon, and a u on the end. What did I just say?
Lanu.
Yeah, lanu. What does lanu mean? Lamed is what? 2 or 4. That's what that means. And that's never going to change. Okay. And the new is what? Us. That is
Us.
never going to change. So I'm either saying to us or for us when I say lanu, depending on what other words are attached to that. Okay. So you're just putting pieces of a puzzle together. The word aim is in the present tense. So if we want to use the present tense in the negative, because saying that something is not, there is not, is a negative. Okay. They would say we usually use the word aim if you're talking about in a negative sense. Okay. Because some words negate an action. Okay. Or they negate a noun. Okay. Or a pronoun, just depends on what it is. So when you read this next sentence right here, somebody read that sentence.
Aim
Ain what?
showed.
Okay, so that right there, I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see the difference. Okay, so here, and they're very close. And what I want to show you is in this writing style that they're using, that's a resh. Okay, well, when you look down right here, here's another resh right here. Well, look here, here's a dalet. The dalet has more of a like a kind of curve in and come down, and this one has more just of a curve like that. So they look alike. So you got to watch those things, okay? Because if you said Saad, okay, it wouldn't be an SAR. A SAR is an officer. And if you said Saad, right, then that would be dealing with the something like something in a field, something hidden. Saad would be hidden or a secret. That's how crazy these words are, okay? All right, Baith. So Ain Sar Baith. What's the next word?
Su.
Ha. Okay. And I got the dot in there. So it means 2 of them. 2 S's and what? An O at the top. So it would be what?
Hassle.
Hasso. Hasso what? Hasso har. Hasso har. Okay. So Ain Sar Baith Hasso har. Okay. Hasso har. I'm trying to get you to always remember. And of course, when the more reading you do, the better off you'll get it. Look for the double up, right? When you see this double in here, you're going to go, okay, I got to make 2 sounds. So I'm going to put it together. I'm not going to go has and then try to go so. Has, so, har. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put those 2 together and I'm going to say hasso. And then I'm going to say my last part, hasso, har. Okay, because they're together. Next word.
Ra.
Yeah, well, yeah, they actually missing some. It should be a little dot over there. It might be a misprint. It's called roe. Okay, and roe means to what? To see. Okay, roe means to see. Yes, it's seeing. Okay, so the way that they're transliterating this or translating is the officer of the jail is not seeing. Okay, why? Because it's negated, meaning I've negated the action. He can't see. Right. And the reason why I know it's ing is because this right here tells me that. That little dot, that O sound tells me that it's an ing. Okay. A little bit more in the grammar. Don't worry about it. What we're talking about is reading and being able to identify this word, ain. Okay. So, how do you say this word? How many syllables?
3.
3. Excellent. So now say each one of those syllables.
Wa.
Wa.
Nose.
Nas. That's a right there. Nas what?
Thumb.
Wanas Tim.
Tim.
Yep. Tim. Wa. Nas. Tim. Okay. It's a hard T sound because there's a dot in it. Then you got the EH from the 3 dots. And then I got the M. Wa nas Tim. Wa nas Tim. Okay. And of course, you know that the Tim on the end tells us something about it. Right? It tells us that what? That tells you it's plural. You can't, they're not going to show it to you right here in this sentence because they might say, and you shall flee. Well, who's you? You think it's talks about you, the second person? No, it's going to be talking about a third person, plural. How would I know that? Well, because I know this right here, this you right here on the end is a third person. This is the plurality. Okay, I know that Tim could be a you on the front or the back, depending on what it is. So if you know your endings, where's the nas? The nas is to flee. Okay, and is the wa. And ain is there is not. So it says, and he is not. Okay. Well, where'd you get in the he? Where's the he at? And you shall flee, and he is not. No one is chasing you. Well, you know it's a he is simply because this rodef right here is the verb of something of chasing. But we know that it's in a what? Rodef. That means he. It's not rodefa, it's rodef. And ethkim here again tells us the eth is a direct object marker pointing directly to the kim. The kim tells us that, I'll ask you, is it singular or is it plural?
Plural because the M.
Yes. And it's you because it's a cough, because the cough can be on when it's on the end, it's a final cough. When it's right here, it's like this. So I know it's talking about a you. And what kind of you am I talking about? I'm talking about a noun. Because I told you the verbs, when you talk about you, you're talking about a tav that will go on the front or the end. Okay. Either, you will, or, I loved you, T, or ta. Okay. When you're talking about a noun, it's going to come with a ket. Excuse me, not a ket, a cough. It's going to come with a cough, and the cough will either be in its form of kim, or it'll be in ken, or it'd be what? A regular cough like this with 2 dots, or it'd be a final cough like this with an a on the end, ka. So you're going to have a ta or a ka. If it's a ta that's on the word, it's a verb. If it's a cough on it, then you know that it is a noun. And you'll get it. You just got to keep reading. You'll be like, okay, well, why is this a tav? And why is this one why is this Kim that talks about you guys? And here is a Tim. Well, because this right here is the verb. That means to flee. That's the action. And who's fleeing? Ethkim, you. Who? You, plural. And it's masculine. You see? And it's Kim, so it's you, plural. That's what it is. The more you read and the more you study, the more you're going to get it. So we said above that the way to recognize the present tense is by this letter here. which is another function. Okay. And this is in your beginning of your lesson. So it says it is a present tense is by this in particular letter, this wa, it has after the first root letter. So generally what it's saying is you can have a root letter like shamar, shin, a mem, and a resh. The moment that they put this dot, this wa right here in the middle or after the first letter, it tells you that it's present tense. Okay. So remember what I said, if it's at the end of a word, it could be his or it. If it's in the middle of the word, then it means present tense. So you're just learning how this in particular wa works. You know, it can work as his, it can work as it can work if it's on the end, it's that way. If it's in the middle of the word or right after the first consonant, then it will be present tense, meaning it's happening right now. That's the ing of things. Okay. So you got shomer, that means guarding. You got sholeach. Okay. That means sending. Okay. So now you're going to learn that the wa is missing. Okay. Sometimes the wa is missing. And the only thing that's left instead of the wa being there will be a dot. So what is it trying to get us to understand? Well, if we look carefully at what they're giving us in this example here, it says that sometimes the wa will be missing. What wa? The wa that has the dot on it, like this. That's going to be missing. It won't be in this word like these. It'll be missing out of these words. But it means exactly the same thing. In some of my studies, I found that they call that a defective spelling because it's not fully spelling out everything. It should be a wa right here. It should be a wa right here with a dot over it. It should be a wa right here with a dot over it. A wa right here with a dot and a wa right here with a dot. That's called a full spelling. Anytime you don't see that, it's called a defective because it should have the full letters spelled out right here, but it doesn't. But it doesn't change the meaning. Okay, so you would still pronunciate it exactly the same way. So how would I say this one? SH and a what? O, that's show.
Shamara.
Shamara, thank you. Shamara. That is real quick. Shamara. Okay, Shomara. Okay, Shomara. Shomara. Mara. Mara. Shomara. Shomara. That's 3. Okay. How you say the next one?
So, Tim.
Shola Kim. That's a CH. Looks exactly like a tav, but the difference with the tav is it has this little foot right here, this little leg that you see on it. This one doesn't. It looks like a hay that was closed. So Shola Kim. Okay. Good job. How about the next one?
Holaketh.
Holeketh. Good job. Holeketh. Good. Holeketh. Okay. So when you look at that, if you know your vocabulary words, you'd be like, well, that's an H, an L, and a K. All right. Yeah. So that's really what? Halak that we learned today in our, and that means to what? That means to walk. And why is it a tav on the end? Oh, because it must have got switched from a halakah to a halaketh, because this has to do with something femininity. Okay. Just like this. Is this masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Okay. Is this masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
Good. Masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
Feminine. Because they're going to change anytime, because you're never going to see a word called laketh. That means that they change this from a hey to a tav. And you learn this in your other lessons. You got to see it more often, and then you'll kind of remember it. Takes a little time for it to sink in, but you'll get it. You're like, you know, they're usually like a hey there. Because it doesn't make any sense, because I've never seen a word called laketh in all my study, never seen it until you know that it goes to some type of transition. Okay. How do you say that word?
Roll.
Roll what?
Okay.
Roll,
Roll cut.
rofe, rofe. Okay. Rofe. I know Rafa has to do with healing, and I know it has to do with the medicine. So it's probably have to do something doing a doctor. Okay. And then how you say that? Co. TH. Co what?
Cote. Cote.
Co. There's no dot in it, so it's a TH sound. So it's kothave. Co. And then here it is. Thave. So you see, when I say co, here's a consonant and a vowel. I'll say that first. That's my first syllable. And then I have a TH sound and a sound with a V sound. Thave. We're not used to seeing that together. So let's just thave, 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 thave. Okay? Thave. So kothave. Okay? So what are we trying to understand? You're trying to make sure that you will say a consonant and a vowel. Consonant and a vowel. Sometimes you're going to have a consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. Sometimes you're going to have a consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay? So in this situation, consonant vowel would be a one syllable, like our thing row. Okay? That's a consonant vowel right here. The next one is a consonant and a vowel. Okay? And this is silent. So I got a consonant vowel. So that will be my next syllable. So that's why I have two syllables, row and then fe. Okay? The next one, co, consonant, O dot right here, vowel. All right, am I writing the right way? Geez, you guys see what I was doing? Did you guys just see what I was doing? I was writing this way and I was making my C's this way. That was interesting. That's crazy. Because I'm explaining it that way. Consonant, vowel, co, right here. TH, thave. Consonant, vowel, two dots, then another consonant. You got to say that all together. Kothave. Okay. Show, that's one syllable. Okay. That's a consonant right here, the SH, and then the vowel. Show. Ma, consonant, and a vowel. Okay. And then what? Ra. Consonant, vowel, consonant. You got to say it all together. Ra. Shoma ra. Shoma ra. Okay. And you don't have to say it fast. You can say it slow. Shoma ra. Sholachim. Kolek, holeketh. Rofe. Kothave. Okay. Any questions about this? They want you to know that sometimes this will be missing. Okay. It's going to be missing. And it'll be represented by that dot that you see right there. And you got to be careful with this one because it's like, oh, is this dot over on this side? Is this a SH sound or is it really a S sound? See? And sometimes that dot will be inside here or, they got them all over the place. But just for the sake of the class, understand that sometimes that wa will be missing. Okay. Now we got, somebody tell me what that says.
Amar.
Amar, perfect. How do you say this one?
Amarti. No.
That one right here is O Mer.
Omer.
And if you can remember, the reason why they're putting this dot right here is because they can't have two alepphs next to each other. So instead of having two alepphs, okay, and what do I mean by that? I'll explain it to you before going any further. This word right here, Omar, is to say, okay, he said, okay, perfect, he said. But if I want to say something, okay, this is past tense, okay, but this right here is a future tense. Why is it future? Because I'm going to put the letter aleph in front of the word Omar. Just like if I put this word right here for Shamar, same thing. Forgive my handwriting. Okay. So anytime I put an aleph, that aleph, according to what we've learned, means I will. If I put a tav on the front, it's you will. If I put a noon on the front of it, it's we will. You understand? If I put a yod on the front of it, it is he will. So you got to know these I will, he will, you will, we will, that kind of thing. Okay. So when you're looking at Omer, basically what they're telling you is that I want to say something, I will say, but they can't have two alepphs next to each other. So they say, let's just use this dot to represent it. So it tells us to be careful and don't forget the past tense mixed up with the present tense. Okay. Remember that the present tense always has a wa or a dot after its first root letter. And when I send it to you, you'll be able to look at it. Okay. So we know here, and they make it a little confusing too, because even in the future tense, this is the same word that's being used, Omer, I will, okay? But it can also be for the present tense, depending on the context, okay? The past tense is, why is it past tense? Why are these in past tense? Why are they considered past tense? Because there is no letter added to what? To the front. It's perfect. That's why it's he. He guarded, he said, he sent. Okay. Over in the present tense, Omer, Shomer, and Shaleach is he, what? There's no letters on the front of it, but it has this dot to let you know that is ing, is ing, ing. So the verb is send. Shamar is guard. Omar is to say. But when I want to make it the ing, they put that dot over there. Saying, guarding. See? So that's all this means is an ing. There is no word for is in Hebrew as you learned. That is implied. The reason why it's he in these parentheses here is simply because it's three letters and there's nothing added to it, but you know that it's present tense because of this in particular dot right here. That's how you would know. So you're just learning the rules to the game. So every time you see something with a dot, it's an ing, it's happening. Okay, or it is in a future tense, and the writer has written it in a way to let you know that it could be going on right now, but it could also be happening in the future. Like it's not complete, the action is not complete. Because that's what a present tense really is. A present tense is something that's going on that hasn't finished completion. Once it gets to complete, then it will go into the past. Okay, so anything that's completed is in the past. The present tense, and they have here for the semikuth. What do you remember about the semikuth? Probably nothing. We learned it because you're not going to remember it. It's just you have to keep seeing it. That's why they keep mentioning these things. Okay. They told you that you learn on page number 102, rule number 2, that the present tense can be used in 2 ways. Okay. Because we're talking about the present tense, an action that's being done. Okay. In the present. Okay. So not an action has been done in the past, but one is being done currently right now. So when we say who shomer, we know from our vocabulary that who is he. Is doesn't exist, it's implied. And then the shomar, right before I put the show, and I just say shamar is to guard. But now that I'm saying guarding, I'm gonna put this wa right here in it, and it's right after the first consonant, and now it's shomer. Okay. So what's making it an ing? What letter in this word is making it an ing?
The Y with the dot.
Thank you. And it's after, is it after the first or second consonant? And this is,
First.
it's after the, yeah, it's the second consonant. It's right after the first one. Okay. And it's being used in a verb because that's what we're talking about. Okay. We're talking about verbs. Okay. To describe a person doing the action, right? Meaning you can also say that he is a guard. So when you say who's shomer, you could say he is guarding. But also too, as we learned earlier in our lesson last week, that it's also he is a guard. It could describe the actual what the person is as a noun. So that's the tricky part, is that it could be, it's not really tricky because you know that the person is guarding. So who's doing the guarding? Of course, a guard. So he is a guard, the person who's guarding. Simple. So don't get it confusing or don't make it confusing. Just keep it simple. Stick to the point of the wa with the dot over it, meaning ing, that is present tense. All right. I got a word for you. Oh, well, I wrote it wrong. Okay. Shin. And then we have a mem, just so you know where my letters are. And then we got the iron. Without no vowels, nothing. What did I just say? Just sound out the letters. Shh.
Schmates.
Sha. And this is silent, but it's shema. Okay. Shema. All right. I don't have any vowels in there, but when you see it by itself like that, that's shema. If I put this dot over here like that, shemoah, it would be shemoah. And that means to what? That I am listening. I am hearing. Shema means to hear or to listen. So shemoah means hearing and listening. Okay. Shamar, he guarded. Show. So you hear that O sound, that's indicative of saying that something's going on. So don't just go by what it looks like. Listen for the sound. Okay. On a verb. Ro, fe. I didn't say ra, fa. I said ro, fe. So rafa is something that has been done in the past. Okay. I say ro, then you should know that's going on right now. Okay. So let's remember it by saying the O sound means that it's going on presently, like rowing a boat. Okay. Or going to the store. Okay. It's that ing that you need to remember. Okay. And that's represented by the sound of O. Anytime you hear O, you should know, hey, it's going on right now, present tense. Okay. Just something for you to put in your mind, because sometimes we just get caught up in the letters, but we don't really stick to the sounds, because that's what we really want. We want the sound. Now it says you're going to learn that when something is in the present tense, because that's what we're discussing, being used as a noun, it can go into a semicolon. So this is the rule that they want to kind of explain. Are you going to remember it? No, you're not going to remember it, but at least if you keep practicing this, you'll be like, okay, the blank of, that's what a semicolon is. That's all this means, is a semicuth is a blank of. And then when you put anything in a semicuth, which is a construction, and construction means that it's just going through some changes. That's all. And then when two nouns are put together, a noun plus another noun next to each other, that's what you call a semicuth form. These words, the blank of is implied. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at the word shomer. And they're using it as a noun, okay? Shomer. It's a guard. What is the guard doing right now? Since it's shomer, what is the guard doing?
Guarding.
Guarding. Good. Okay. So shomer Shabbat. What does that mean?
Guard the Shabbat.
It's guarding the Shabbat. So they're saying to us that when you translate this now, when you're using a present tense of someone doing the action in a present tense, and you want to change into a noun, because it can be he's guarding, but it also means the guard of the Shabbat, because the of is the semicolon. Okay. Well, why is it the guard of? Because if I just said guarding Shabbat, you would say, well, who's guarding the Shabbat? Then you would have to say the guard of Shabbat. Okay. The guard of Shabbat. Okay. It can be used this way. It's just a rule. You can use the present tense as a semicolon, but it has to be changed from a guarding to a guard. Are you going to remember this? No. What are you going to remember? All you want to remember is what I told you, is that O sound is letting you know it's a present tense. Okay. Here, the giver, it can mean that. Okay. So shomer can mean a guard. No thane could mean a giver. Okay. Not the giver, a giver. Okay. It also means giving. So you got to look at that, read it, and try to memorize it. So they're going to give you some examples here. Okay. Two possible trends. Okay, it's a lot of information. I don't want to short your brains out. But at any rate, the point is that the shomer can be a guard, or it can be someone guarding. The no thane can be giving or the giver. Okay. Our examples here of shomea. That's the one who hears or is hearing. Okay. A tefillah, a prayer. Okay. A bore, or is one who creates or is creating. Okay. So those are all the different ways that it could be used. And then of course, you got your present tense of verbs in these two letter roots. So they're going to tell you that you learn on page 45 about what these were. And what does it mean? It means that these in particular verbs, kum and ba, when they're fully written out, they look like this. Okay. So this one right here, kum, fully spelled out, looks like this. So you have this, and then you got the wa and here. Okay. And then you have the mem. Is exactly the same thing. They mean exactly the same thing. The only difference is that they removed this, and that's all that was left is this, but it means exactly the same thing. And of course, on page 45, they explain the reason why. Okay. But it tells us if you put it into past tense, it loses the wa, or it might lose this, and then from the middle of the root for whatever reason. You have to go look back at page 45 to understand the reason why. At this moment, do you really care? No, I don't think you should. I think you should understand that this just had this. And kum here can also mean that. And it's shuv, if you put it in the present tense and the past tense, then it's going to lose this. And the moth will lose that. And this yod right here will lose this as well. They fall out. And it's just another rule. Okay. Now, what part of this word is I? What two letters represent I?
And you.
Yep, the tav and the yod. Okay, and it's pronounced th. So how do I say I came?
Bati.
Bati. It doesn't have a dot in it. If it has a dot in it, it's a hard T sound. It doesn't have the dot in it, then it is a TH sound. And here's the reason for that. Okay. That's part of the grammatical structure that we'll go over later. Just know that it doesn't have a dot in it, then it's going to be this sound right here. And that's something you got to get used to. Okay. So that's Bati. Okay. Is that past, present, or future? Past,
No.
present, and future. Okay. If it's past, it's going to be on the end of a word or the end of the root. If it's in the present, it'll be in the middle of the root. If it's in the future, it'll be at the front of the root. Okay. So this is the end in the past. This is what's going on right now. And the future is, will be. Okay. It's in the front. It's right in front of you. Okay. See? So past, present, future. Okay. And so since this thi right here is added to ba, that means I came. It's the end of the story. Okay. The next one. How do you say that?
Sameti.
Good opportunity. Great try. Let's go over this rule right quick. All right. So you said samati. Okay. Good effort. So sa, 1, ma, 2, ti, 3. You said 3, right? 3 different syllables. Sa, ma, ti. Okay. There's a rule. And here's the rule. This vowel right here, this little dash like this, is what you call it ah. It's a short sound. Okay. It's a short ah. If it's a long ah, it'll have this symbol right under it, long. Okay, that's ah too. Okay, but it's a little bit longer. So one is ah, the other one's ah, a little bit longer in holding it. Okay, so that's what you call a long vowel. Okay, and then we have a really short one called really quick ah, and that's called reduced. And the reduced is identified by this, that symbol. Okay. So these little vowel points tell you how long to make a sound and how short a sound is. So when I see this little one here, I know that's a short. I memorize it. I was like, okay, that's short. Okay. I know this one up here is long. That's why it's called ba, thi. Okay. The rule is if you have a short vowel in front of this mark right here, these 2 dots, if it's short, I'm going to write it out. If it's short and it's next to that, short vowel, then you're going to say these things together. You're going to marry those together because the sound is so short that you don't have to waste your time making this sound for this. We don't have to make that quick because it's too short. Because the first one's a short vowel and the next one's even shorter. So you just like, it's real quick. So if I got 2 quick vowels, then why would I have to say them independently? I have to say them together so they can become a little bit longer. Okay. So based upon that rule, Okay. I would put these two together. I have to marry those. Now, if I have those same letters, same, the shin and the mem, and I got the two dots right here, but all of a sudden I have a long vowel. This is long. Okay. I would change the rule. I would say this first because I have enough of it to say for this in particular consonant. And then I don't have enough left in order to say that with that. I don't have to say that. So what it is one is called being vocal and one is called non-vocalic, meaning like I'll say one, but then the other one I won't say. Okay. And what am I talking about? You have to make a decision about not only, let me slow down. The two decisions that you have to make when you look at any word is this. What is the first vowel? Is the first vowel question mark? Is it long or short? It's long in this case. Okay. How about this one? What's the question? Is this a long vowel or short vowel? It's short. Okay. So that's done. That's the first thing I look at. The next thing I look at is this. What is the next vowel next to it? Well, if it's these dots right here called a schwa, that's the name of it. If it's a schwa, which is a real quick sound, then I have to make a decision. Do I vocalize this? Do I say what I call vocalize? Do I vocalize? Do I pronounce the word? Do I say or don't I? Or do I make it silent? So I can vocalize this, these two dots. I can either vocalize it or I can make them silent. I got a choice to make. But that choice is only determined upon what the first vowel sound is. So the rule is, okay, is whether or not these two dots are vocal or if they're silent. Okay. They're vocal. I will say them. Okay. If the vowel is long, I would say them. I have to say them because the first vowel was like, it's long. I don't have enough room to jam anything together. If the vowel is short, then I'm going to be silent. That means I'm not going to say that sound. I'm going to put them together. That's what it is. Okay. So it's really not about the first vowel lets you know if it's if it's long or short. The schwa has a feature, a function to say whether or not you're going to say it or you're not going to say it. Okay. You say these two dots, you vocalize it if it's long. Then you would say, okay, so I'll just change it right here. Put a long vowel there. Since I got that long vowel now, I'm going to go sa, ma, ti, samati, samati. Okay. Well, it doesn't have a long vowel. That's a short vowel. This is short A vowel, right? So what do? I'm going to keep this silent. I'm not going to say this now. So I'm going to put these together and I'm going to act like this doesn't even exist. So what am I really going to say now? I'm going to say sam. Next one, ti. That's what I'm going to say. Samti. I'm going to give you an example. And you tell me. How do you say that?
Some rule.
Thank you. Now I'm going to do this. How do you say it now?
Some rule.
Sa, ma, ru. The reason why this is, when it's like this, that is what you call a silent schwa. It's silent. You don't have to say it because this is not long enough. This sound right here is too short for you to have to. You just can't say ooh. You can't say that. It's too short. This sound is too short for you to put another short vowel behind it. Okay. So in the language, which you're going to find, listen to me very carefully, which I just discovered it's not even too long ago. When you look at the vowels, if you understand your vowels and you know which ones are long and which ones are short, you'll understand, like this one right here. So we got show. Okay. That O right there is a long vowel sound. So because it's long, I'm not going to go shomre. I'm not going to say shomre. I'm going to go show. That's enough for that. That's enough of a sound. The next one is a short vowel. M. Real quick. Shoma, shoma, shoma. And the last one is long. Re. Is long. It's long. Okay. So when you look at your vowels, you got to know which ones are long, which ones are short. So this one right here, from my remembering, is short. This one is short. This is short. Okay. This is long. Okay. That's long. These are long. Okay. This is long. This is long. Okay. So if you know those vowel points and you know exactly how you're never going to have, well, I won't say never because you never know with this thing. Generally, what you're going to see is long vowel, short vowel, long vowel, short vowel. Or you might see short vowel, long vowel. It's very rare in any type of sentence structure you're going to see nothing but short vowels. Okay. Never going to see that. Okay. So that's how you got to understand that rule. And that rule took me a long time to figure out because I was learning on my own. So again, what you want to know is whether or not this schwa right here, it's called a schwa, these two dots, are they vocalized, or is it silent? So which one is silent and which one is vocal? Well, the rule is it's silent if there is a short vowel in front of it. It's vocal when there's a long vowel that precedes it. So you got to know your long vowels, you got to know your short vowels. And then you'll be able to say that. You'll be, oh, shanti, samti. Okay. If it was this, it'd be shamati or samati, excuse me, samati. Okay. This little dot right here on this one. I forgot to tell you a short vowel here too. Here's a great example. Here's an excellent example, even though they told you not to do it like this. That yo dot right there like that, that's a short vowel. So how would you say this? You got to marry all this together. How would you say that? S, yod is I, mem, m, sim. That's all you would say. And that's your first syllable. Sim, and it stops. And then you got the the on the end. Simpty. Okay? If you had to say it, okay? So once you know that rule, and of course you're going to get used to it. You're going to see it all the time. You're going to see it all over the place. Okay. Let me hurry up for you guys. Let's see. We went over this, but I'll send this to you. Yeah, I've taken up enough of your time today. You'll go over this when you see it. You just read it, you'll understand it. And of course, that part follows up with that. That's good. And then, of course, you'll have your rules. So I'll send all this to you. You only have a page of reading to do on that. And then you look at your lessons that you've already gone over, through lessons 1 through 7 rules. And I already told you what those pages are. And then you'll finally put it together. You'll have this whole entire book here shortly. Okay. And then, of course, you can't forget to do your homework. Do your homework. Okay. That's how you're going to get better. And I know a lot of us sometimes are like, man, that's a lot of work. Yeah, it is. But pretty soon you're going to get it. That's the only way you're going to get it. That's the only way you're ever going to get it. Okay. Any questions?
Do
Hey.
do you have the book as one big file? Like one big PDF?
No, I wish I did. What I've done is I've